Hope you guys got your pillows for this week of Apple news, because it's been it's been a real sleeper. But anyway, guys, today we have some exciting things to talk about, from MacBook Air colors to the Epic versus Apple trial, a new AirPods update. There's a lot of cool things happening. So if you're excited for this one, drop a like down below, hit subscribe for more. And while you're at it, tap that bell so that you're always staying up to date on the latest Apple news. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. Okay, starting out today, I have gone back and forth so many takes, so many times. Do I cover the Epic versus Apple story? Do I not? And I've ultimately decided to cover it and talk about it here because I do really think what's at stake is important. You've probably seen something about Epic Games suing Apple, or Apple being the center of a new lawsuit. And generally here, we take the pro Apple, what they're doing is sick, I love the thing take, just because that's genuinely how I feel most of the time. I also feel the need and journalistic responsibility to be honest when Apple isn't doing something right. I'm not just gonna feed you guys, I don't know, Apple propaganda. I'm gonna be real with you when I'm this is a bad call, or why do they do this? And there are certain parts of the App Store and Apple's power there that that I think should be looked at, which is exactly what this case is about. And specifically, Epic Games does not like that the only way to sell on the iPhone is to give Apple 30%. There's maybe it's kind of interesting. There's a 70-30 revenue split. So when you buy a 99-cent game on the App Store, let's just say it's $1, Apple makes 30%. So you are giving Apple just 30 cents straight up. The other 70 cents goes to the developer. Now, in recent history, within the past year or two, Apple has adjusted that. So if you're a developer doing under $1 million in revenue, you can get 85-15 split as long as you don't break that $1 million barrier. So for new developers, this is a pretty good incentive to sell in the App Store, because you're getting 85-15 just as soon as you go over $1 million. That's when it goes back to the more standard 70-30. If you're selling a subscription service, in the second year of that user doing a subscription, it goes down to 85-15 as well. So if you subscribe to your favorite premium version of, I don't know, Angry Birds, in the second year you subscribe, you're paying a monthly fee. Again, it goes 85-15. So Apple is making 15% less from that year onward. And see, Epic doesn't necessarily have a problem with that as an option. When you go to, I don't know, Walmart. If they're selling another product that's not Walmart brand, Walmart is getting a cut of that, right? When you buy Famous Amos cookies in Walmart, that is not Great Value Walmart brand, where Walmart is getting 100% of the revenue. Walmart is absolutely charging a fee to have your product on their shelf in a very popular store. But here's the thing. When a normal store operates with Walmart, you have Target, you have Home Depot you could sell Famous Amos in. You could sell this online. With Apple's option and the ubiquity of iPhones, the fact that most people in America have one, they're very popular around the world, there isn't another store to sell in on one of the world's most popular smartphones. You have to go through Apple, and you have to give them their cut. I don't know if you guys saw me at the trial, but I actually made an appearance as well telling you how you should get WeVPN, the best VPN in the market right now. Listen, you guys know WeVPN. They're the guys that came from all the other VPN companies doing sketchy stuff with your data to create a fundamentally better product that was one of the best, fastest, and most reliable options on the entire market. And recently I've heard some birds chirping outside, which means that it's spring, and WeVPN has launched their spring sale for the 2 years plan, which gets you 73% off and 2 months for free at only $2.69 a month. This gives you access to all their premium features, over 50 server locations around the world, and even the ability to unblock content from Netflix, Hulu, BBC iPlayer, and so much more. And when you enter the code iupdate at checkout, you get an additional 10% off. So my challenge is this: whether you've been using a different VPN for years, yuck, or this is your first time hearing about a VPN, head over to wevpn.com/iupdate today if you trust me, if you like what I do here, and start staying safer online. But it goes even deeper, because Apple's rules don't even allow you to tell someone how to go around the rules, Apple's rules. So Netflix, for example, doesn't offer in-app purchases on iOS or any Apple product. When you download the Netflix app, you can log in with your existing account, but there's no way to make an account, and there's no way to tell people how to make an account, because that would be going around Apple's 70-30 split. So it just says log in. And a lot of people might download the Netflix app ready to sign up and go, well, on Twitter, Facebook, everything else I can sign up, but I can't sign up on my phone. And Netflix can't tell you where or how to sign up. It just says log in. because doing so, telling people to go to Netflix.com to sign up and pay, would be going around Apple's rules. And this, for me, really is the central problem, because that's where you get into anti-you and me territory. Like the fact not only that there is only Apple's option, but that you can't even tell people an alternative, or you don't get to go on the App Store. That for me is problematic. But this is a bench trial where a judge is going to make a decision at the end of the day. So what are Apple's arguments against Epic? Why has Apple kept the App Store locked down? And more importantly, why does Apple want the App Store to not be as locked down? Well, first of all, money. Epic will make so much more money if they don't have to give Apple their big split. Apple doesn't want to lose that source of revenue because it is a lot, like 30%. And the only option, that's a lot of money. They do billions of dollars in App Store revenue a year. You want to just move that down to 15% or cut 50% of that out of the equation because people can buy somewhere else? Apple's not going to go down without a fight there. Of course, neither side is going to say it's about the money, and Epic has made a lot of moral arguments about how Apple's changed or different, but let's dive into Apple's side of things here. Why does Apple believe that the way the App Store exists now is right and good, and most importantly, fair? Apple believes they are keeping users safe first and foremost, that you won't get confused by going online to enter a credit card on some third-party site, that you won't get scammed, and that the apps on the App Store are safe. They won't affect your iPhone. They won't steal your data. They will make sure that exactly what you signed up for is what you get because they reviewed it. They looked through the code of the app literally. They made sure there was nothing weird happening. They did all the work on their end to ensure the best, well, safest experience for the user. I want to be careful saying best because I think that's subjective. Apple designed this ecosystem where developers could flourish on mobile at a time where nobody knew what to do or where to go to download things, or if they were going to have their phone at risk. Apple made this centralized authority that said anything here, any of the hundreds of thousands, there's millions of apps now. They are all safe and you can get all of them and you're going to have a great experience because we put in the effort to make sure that everything was kosher and good. And Apple is taking that stance as far as we are doing the work. We deserve a split here, right? But by far, one of Apple's most effective arguments to me so far has been Android, the Google Play Store. The fact that you could go get an Android if you don't want iPhone, and there is side loaning on Android. You can put any app in the world on your Android. It's off by default, but you can enable it. There's choice in the market, Epic. We, Apple, yes, we have a lot of control over our own platform, but we're not the only platform in the game. There's a million Android manufacturers that have their own app stores, and even Google has their own app store. To me, though, Apple's most potent argument here has been the fact that Epic sells Fortnite on PlayStation and Xbox, and they have 70-30 splits, and there's no way to get Fortnite on an Xbox or a PlayStation without going to the Xbox store or the PlayStation store. So Epic is again only getting 70% of that revenue on a PlayStation and Xbox. Why should it or would it be different on the iPhone? Okay, so I've laid out the arguments of both sides. This is my general understanding of the case. What do I think? Who's in the right? Who's in the wrong? I am leaning on Epic's side. When I first heard about this, I wasn't, but the more I've thought about the App Store as the only option on the iPhone and the Mac and the iPad and the Apple Watch and Apple TV, it is a great place to buy because you know it's safe. But the fact that I can't even sign up without giving Apple a cut, that would be like watching Netflix on a Sony TV and Sony getting a cut of your Netflix subscription because you had to buy Netflix on their Sony TV from Sony's store. That's insane. I think that Apple having this much control is not good. I'm not saying they don't need some control. They absolutely need a cut if you use the system. But I'm a fan of the idea that we could get something better through competition on Apple's platform. Yes, there's competition in the global marketplace with Android and Samsung and a million other brands. But why can't we have more competition on Apple's system? Even if it gives Apple less control and there is a greater risk for users to get confused. If you're a developer and you want to use the system, then use it. If you know that's the best experience, I think it is the best experience. I just think that what we have now isn't right. It does not feel like the best thing for you and me. Right now, it feels like the best thing for Apple and an okay thing for developers. But considering that developers are the people that have made the App Store the giant that it is, you would think Apple would want to support them and show them a bit more love. Because remember, Apple doesn't have an App Store without people like Epic Games. They don't. The App Store is meaningless without the people that participate in the ecosystem. And the ecosystem has been slanted towards Apple since its inception. Okay, so I just looked at how long I've been recording. Obviously, what you watched was not this long, but I've been recording about Epic and Apple for about an hour. So let's move on to the second story for today, which is about a new update for AirPods Pro and AirPods 2. And as you could guess, it's just as confusing as every AirPods update. So Apple just dropped AirPods 3E751 for both AirPods 2 and AirPods Pro, and nobody knows what's new. Generally, there's like some little crumb of information discovered, like when Apple updated AirPods Max last time, it was shown that the battery drain in the case was improved. It was like bugging out, it was draining really quickly, and then it was fixed. Really, the only time we get an actual changelog is with like iOS 14 when Apple said, hey, we're bringing spatial audio to AirPods Pro and adding better Mac to iPad to iPhone switching. But like again, in the AirPods changelog themselves, they're just like, oh, AirPods update? What? No, not us. Not from us. And by the time you're watching this, because it came out around a week ago, like you've probably gotten it on your AirPods already, but the way you update is so confusing. You basically put the pods in the case, plug it in with a lightning cable, put it near your phone, and then randomly in the next 30 minutes it will update. But there's like not really a way to force it to happen. It's very just like it either happened or it didn't. And I wish that we could just get like a general software update section for AirPods like we have for every other Apple operating system. That'd be cool. But who knows, with Apple Music Hi-Fi rumored to be around the corner, perhaps this is some preemptive update that supports higher quality audio, like lossless stuff on AirPods. I'm not saying for sure, it's just my best speculation since nothing else was discovered and nobody was really reporting any issues or bugs with AirPods 2 and AirPods Pro. Maybe they're getting ready for Apple Music Hi-Fi that apparently is coming out in just a couple of weeks. Okay, but by far the most exciting news, the thing that I really wanted to make this video for because I just had to talk about it, was colors coming to the MacBook Air. Co-host of Genius Bar, of course, John Prosser, around 75% accurate, just dropped a random tidbit and was like, oh yeah, by the way, you know how we got colors on the iMac? And he was the only person to ever say that. And then it happened. He's like, oh yeah, we're gonna get colors on the next MacBook Air as well, which is super dope because the concepts from Renders by Ian have been absolutely so good, and it honestly makes so much sense. Like, it seems like Apple is looking back to their like G3 iMac color nostalgia, of which I watched the unveil keynote, and like the parallels are crazy between 1999 or 1998 Apple and colors and the colors today. It's cool to see these being revived. Now, blue is the only thing confirmed. Like, that's all the sources have seen. All that we know is that the body would be blue, but you know, bezels are another question. Will Apple opt for black or white bezels? I know that's still so divisive, and honestly, white bezels seems like it's gonna be a trend for Apple's lower end products, and then black bezels for the higher end stuff. I mean, that's gonna be the incentive. Obviously, if you care enough to not have white bezels, then you're just gonna buy the more expensive Pro product, and that's probably what Apple wants to push you towards anyway. And Mark Gurman has given us details about the design of this next MacBook Air, which he says is even thinner and lighter than the current one, which I don't know how that's possible considering it's already so thin and light, but I'll take it. And if it's coming in colors as well, I just don't know how you're gonna compete with Apple Silicon. I keep saying this, but like now that the iMac is coming soon and the MacBook Air, like how do you compete with Apple's designs that are so wild and wacky and the silicon inside? Like, it's just so good. And would I buy a MacBook Air because of it? I don't think so, because colors don't do that much for me, but I bet some of you will buy a MacBook Air specifically because of the colors. Let me know, would you get a certain color MacBook Air? Would you get a green or a blue or a pink? You know, maybe we got some pink MacBook Airs out there. I don't know. Anyway, hope you guys are doing well. That's all for this video. If you liked it, drop a like down below. Hit subscribe for more. I've been Sam. I hope you enjoyed this lengthy upload, and I'll talk to you in my next video.